Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Chaos here, and today I'm back doing a deck profile on a pretty awesome deck that you guys may or may not have seen. I've done a couple videos of duels with this deck now, so yeah, it's Shaddolls, which are absolutely amazing. They aren't in the TCG yet, but they will be coming out soon in one of the new booster packs. And it is a really awesome deck. It's actually really strong, really fast, so I'll skip all of that and let's just get straight on into this deck. So, for your first couple of monsters, we've got the Black Luster Soldier and the two Chaos Sorcerers, which are really great with this deck because you do run all the darks and then a bunch of lights. So, you gotta have your Black Luster Soldier and two Chaos Sorcerers because they can banish. So, I can banish face downs. OTKs are crazy with Black Luster Soldier. Chaos Sorcerer's effect comes in handy a lot more than what you'd expect. But yeah, the plays that you can get off with these cards in like they just function so well with other cards in the deck that it actually gets so many plays off going. So yeah, great banishing cards, can't be stopped very easily, and great ending card with Black Luster Soldier. Onto the Shaddoll side of things, there's two beasts. Beast's effect is when he's dumped into the graveyard, you draw a card. His flip effect is draw two cards and discard one, so great card. I mean, if you ever need the extra draw, just chuck him into the graveyard. Shaddoll Dragon. Dragon, his effect is that when he's sent to the graveyard, target a spell or trap and destroy it. So if you ever need to pop that back row or field spell that they got out, he's the guy to go for. He's also 1900 and his flip effect is target a card they control and return it to their hand. So you want to take an XYZ or a Synchro or even a fusion and you want to get it back into their extra deck, he's the guy to do it. So yeah, really good card, and you can go into rank 4s and synchro plays with him as well. Lizard's effect is when he's sent to the graveyard that you run Lizard at 3. And I run Dragon at 3, sorry if I didn't mention that, but yeah, Lizard's effect is that when he's sent to the graveyard you can send another Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. So you can send Shaddoll Dragon to the graveyard, Beast, what if you need the draw, if you need the pop, if you need Falcon to just go down, face down, you need some block and you want his effect to go off next turn. And even sometimes you might want to send Roots because you want to get back a Shaddoll Fusion that's been milled off the top of your deck. So yeah, that's a really good combo to get this card out. You might be able to use its effect that turn or next, doesn't matter, it's just a great card. But yeah, so Lizard gets a lot of stuff going on, definitely run it 3. Shaddoll Hedgehog, I run at 2. I was running this at 3, but I tuned it down to 2. I like his flip effect more than his sent to the graveyard effect, because when he's sent to the graveyard, you just add a Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand, and you don't really need Shaddoll monsters that often, like in your hand, especially if you've got a developed hand. It's not really the card to help you out, but it could get you out of a pickle if you need a certain card in your hand at the time. So yeah, it's alright, but definitely flip effect and send to the graveyard effect are both good, and it gives you the extra milling abilities to get these guys' effect off. The best Shaddoll probably is Falcon, purely because he gets sent to the graveyard and you special summon him to your side of the field face down, so you'll get his flip effect off next turn, which gets you back a Shaddoll, face down, get their flip effect off, so this guy makes stuff happen so easily. And his flip effect is the same as what you'd expect. Sorry, I just mentioned that, but yes, his flip effect is that you'll get special summon a Shaddoll. So he is great, and he's a tuner, which makes him even more great, and a dark tuner as well, getting the Beals plays going off. But yeah, he's so great, so awesome of a card. I definitely run him at 3, 100%. Now for the Lightsworn engine, I run 3 Raiden. Raiden is just awesome because you can mill on your turn. So you want to get 2 cards from the top of your deck to the grave. Say you get a Shaddoll Beast sent, say you get a Lizard. You can get any of these guys, get effects going off just on your turn. So you don't need to wait till the end phase for stuff to happen like you would with Lila or with Curry Bandit. But yeah, top 2 cards and then at the end phase another 2, and he's a tuner. Tuner gets so many of these synchro plays off with his effects. And he's actually pretty decent attack. So yeah, definitely run this guy at 3 because he is probably going to be the best Lightsworn out when he comes out into the TCG. Lila, I still run Lila at 3 as well because you want to be able to pop a back row, and top 3 cards, deck to the grave, 1700, rank 4 play. She's great. She does what you need to do. I mean, I'd still run her at 3. If you guys want to run her at 2 or even 1, that's your personal opinion, but I run her at 3 purely because I like Lila and her being able to wipe out a back row. Mathematician at 2 because this guy just sends one of your Shaddolls to the graveyard. Say you send Lizard, then you can send whatever other Shaddoll you want to the graveyard. Starts plays going off, which is sending a Mathematician. And if it's destroyed by battle, you draw a card. So that's just like a little bonus thrower. But yeah, run him at 2 because it's a great card. 3 Curry Bandits. Curry Bandit with its end phase. This card is amazing. That's all I can say. Is Curry Bandit is amazing because the end phase of the turn that this card was normal summoned, right? So you normal summon this guy, and then at your end phase you just mill the top 5 cards of your deck to your grave, and then you add one of the spell trap cards, and the rest go to the grave. So you send tons of Shaddoll to the graveyard. You get effects going off. You get synchros. You can get stuff happening. The only downside to this guy is that it can be your only summon and you could be left open for an attack. But with this deck, you do have 6 chances of getting Falcon to protect you as well. So yeah, definitely run Curry Bandit at 3. I wouldn't run him at any less than 3. He's just a great card, one of my favorite in this deck. On to the spells. 3 Shaddoll Fusion because this card is simply what makes this deck. That's all I can say. This card makes the deck. You go ahead and you grab a Midrash or you grab a Nephilim. You're just ready. You're ready for plays. You stop plays with Midrash. You can crash into things with Nephilim. This card does it. Especially when they've got a Synchro or an XYZ from their extra deck on the field. This card is gold. You send 2 cards from your deck, so it doesn't cost you anything. You send 2 cards here, you gain their effects. So you could get a +2 from just the graveyard. Then you get the plus of the monster on the field, plus the plus of their effect. It's insane. This card is insane. I can see this card maybe getting limited to something because it is that good. But honestly, just a great card. Run it at 3. If you ran it at less, I could not imagine running that at less than 3. Just an amazing card. Can't hype it up enough. But onto the one-ofs, I got a Dark Hole and a Foolish Burial. Stock standard for this deck is Foolish Burial. Dark Hole is my choice. I love Dark Hole. I run it in nearly every deck that I play. It's a staple spell card for me, so yeah. And Foolish Burial gets your plays going off with Shaddolls on your turn as well. Because you can select what you want to send to the grave. Okay, 3 Super Polys. I was running this at 2 and I just thought it was so good I would change and run it at 3 because it chains to so much stuff. Your opponent can... I've had a scenario where a mirror match I think you guys may have seen. They chucked out, I'm pretty sure it was either Nephilim or Midrash, and they were about to wipe something off my field, so I super polyed chained, got rid of their card, and in some instances you can get rid of both of the cards on their field, especially if they're running Shaddolls. You can clear their field up. I've cleared up Blackluster Soldiers on my opponents. I've cleared up Beals before on my opponent's side of the field, so this card can really clear up a lot of sticky situations and gets you out a plus with one of these awesome fusion monsters. Yeah, I run that at 3. If you choose to run it at less, that's just your choice, but yeah, it can be run at less, but you've definitely got to at least run one. Okay, so the traps, the 3 staples, that should be over here. Torrential, Compulse, and Warning. I was going to run Bottomless instead of Compulse, but I just like it better. I've grown an attachment to Compulse over it now because sending is harder to be stopped than Banish, because it says Destroy. A lot of times I've been annoyed that people can stop it because it says Destroy instead of just Banish. But yeah, Compulse just gets the job done, does what I need it to do. Torrential's great because it gets their effects off. And Warning is Warning. I mean, you gotta run Warning at 1 at least. Wish you could run it at more, but you can't. And for the final trap cards of the deck, 2 Shaddoll Roots. This card, I just love this card so much. Like, the fact that you can just get it out, it's a level 9, get it with Falcon, bam, straight into a Star Eater. I mean, these 2. Or, you can just go Shaddoll Fusion with that card. Then when this card's used as a Shaddoll card, you get a Spell Trap Shaddoll card from your graveyard, which means you can get back a Fusion. So, Roots is great. Battle phase hitting for 1450 could end the game because of this card. It's happened to me before. I've played a lot of games with this deck. Just an amazing card. Definitely run this card at two. I'd say in your deck. If you run it at 3, that's great as well. If you run it at 1, that's alright. But definitely run the card. Alright, onto the extra deck. Alright, so the boss 6. These guys right here. The Nephilim. I tried to cut these down to 2. Trust me, I tried, and I thought I played. You need 3. You need 3 of these cards. Nephilim is insane. Nephilim is just like, oh, so many cards that you normally can't get over, but this card does it. If this card is special summoned, you send a Shaddoll from your deck to the grave, so that starts plays going off, and then when it attacks a special summon monster, just destroy it before the at the start of the damage step. So a lot of cards are able to do stuff afterwards, but this card does it, destroying it before. So yeah, it's really good. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can get a spell trap, a Shaddoll spell trap in your grave and add it to your hand. So yeah, it gets you back your Shaddoll fusion or your Shaddoll roots. So yeah. Midrash has to be it is my favorite out of the 2 fusions, but it's one of my favorite cards of this deck because it's amazing. When it's fusion summoned, it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So that's just straight off the bat. A lot of people just don't even know. They dark hole and then they realize they're in a sticky situation. This is the part that I love. Neither player can special summon more than once while this card is once per turn, sorry, while this card is face up on the field. That's insane. A lot of people go for the summon, special summon, and then they're stuck and they're like, oh, okay, I can't go into that 101 that I wanted to go into now. And then they're in so many sticky situations because of Midrash. Great card. I love Midrash. It's my favorite, one of my favorite. I mean, I can't get all selective now, but yeah. Definitely one of my favorite, and when it's sent to the graveyard, same thing. Spell trap, add it to your hand. I'll quickly brush over because you guys should know. Synchro, Star Eater, Leo, Beals, as I should have mentioned, Falcon, and Chaos Sorcerer. I summon Chaos Sorcerer, use effect, banish a card, chuck down Falcon, bam, Beals. Nice, 3k. Won me so many games this card, but yeah. Crimson Blader, Black Rose, bomb everything. Vulcan and Armades, and then I run a 101 and an Exciton because they're still staples. If you're running level 4s, you want to have their rank 4s, the best 2 rank 4s in the game. So yeah, you gotta have them. Onto the side deck, 2 DD Crows. DD Crow, he's seeing a lot of play in the current format because a lot of stuff you want to clear up in the graveyard. You want to get rid of those dragon rulers. You want to get rid of Boojins. So yeah, this card's really helpful and against a lot of decks, so you can chuck that in straight in. Soul Release. Now this one's a really weird selection that I've made. It's more so that I've been playing a lot of decks that have been stopping my deck, that have been relying on the graveyard, so I want to clear up the graveyard for a lot of decks that use it, so Soul Release has actually been doing me surprisingly well, so I definitely am happy with running that at 2 in my side. 2 Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare. You guys should know what this does, but yeah, it's kind of like Blackhorn, except it's different. It negates the effect of a special summon monster, which can affect more than just XYZs and Synchros, and it negates and destroys it. I personally like Blackhorn better, so I side that in at 2 as well. And I do side it in more than I do Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare, but there's certain decks that you need this card over Blackhorn, so you can chuck that in. 1 Ceasefire because, I mean, you want to be able to inflict damage to them. And it just can do so much damage, especially with this deck. You can get a whole field out. Ceasefire, do 3k or 4k, it's crazy card. So that's limited to 1, and it's just insane. I love siding this card in. 3 breakthrough skills because breakthrough skill is seeing a lot of play lately. It is crazy. A lot of decks are relying on the effects. There's artifacts. There's dragon rulers, which go for the big plays, and then you can stop the XYZs. Gears. You want to be able to break through skill their stuff. So breakthrough skill is crazy, and yeah, I side that in at 3. And the final is Vanity's Emptiness because this card is a must. I mean, special summoning's insane these days. So 3 vanities does the job. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. If you guys want to check out my other videos, there'll be links in the description for you guys to check them out. I am doing a giveaway on this card right here. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. It's so simple. You just need to subscribe and comment, and you're in. And a chance to get a number 101 silent honor arc. So you guys check out my videos. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment. And I'll see you guys later. That's Blue Eyes White Chaos out.